I love the water. It's just a calming, and just to look at it and see the blue. My name is Robin Burlando. I'm 70 years old, and I'm a lifeguard with the Department of Parks and Recs. Retirement just was not my thing. I did not like it. I just needed something to do. I decided to become a lifeguard because I wanted to do something for the community. The way the city was going down, the killings have risen now. So I wanted to do something positive, some type of small thing I could do for the kids. And then we have rules when they come in, and they have to follow the rules. Pools are a small solution. Cool off and have fun, and I see these kids starting to come together and partner. They play Marco Polo, and so that makes them, they come back the next day, they're safe, they know that the lifeguards are going to look out for them. They've grown up in the city, they know what it takes to survive in the city. These kids often come up to them and ask them questions and just talk, and maybe that's what they need. We don't know what's going on in these kids' lives otherwise. But we know that when we're here, they are our responsibility. So each of these lifeguards here take it upon themselves to embrace them. So when it gets hot in the city gets hot. So I'm expecting that there's going to be a lot of things going on outside of these pool areas that are going to affect the kids crime-wise. The Department of Parks and Recs has this drive, and it's called Suits for the Summer. You can donate to for the kids for swimwear. Some of the kids will come here in their street clothes. They can't get in because they don't have a bathing suit. So hopefully we will have a way to, at least during the day, have these kids come in here and say this is their safe haven. That's why it's so important to have these pools open up, someplace for them to come, to be present with other kids, to be present with adults that care about them and they can joke with. They have swim lessons, so it's pretty important as the summer goes on that we have something for these children.
It's the only rhythm section in Philadelphia right now, as far as Caribbean rhythm.
We are Philly TNT Rhythm Makers.
TNT stands for Trinidad and Tobago.
Back in the day, you know, they used to be the hop from cars. It's like an electrical junction box. We take pieces of equipment and we make musical sound out of it. I would say it's African, but it's Caribbean in flavor because we sort of like take and create a certain energy coming out of the steel orchestra, the engine room. The rhythm section is like the core, it's the energy behind the steel drum. And we come out here mostly every Sunday. Sometimes we miss a Sunday or two, but this is our normal place for hanging out. This is Fairmount Park across from the Police Stuff Museum. If you notice the flavor of this park, I call it Caribbean Park. This park have a little section for all the different nationalities. Jamaicans, this section here is Trini, we have the Bajans, everybody is here. It's a sort of like a family outing on a Sunday. Everybody comes out here, just hang out. Some people bring food, some people purchase food, and we just come and hang out and just get together as a community, sort of like how we do it back in the islands.
The kids always flock to the band. They love music. That's why we do it. We do it to keep the culture going.
The rhythm makers, what we're doing is preserving a culture that we have had for many years on the island.
It's part of the space, it's our lifestyle, it's African rhythm that we know, culture that we grow with.
It's very positive. It's like where we sort of share some of what we know from growing up. We try to see if we could leave it, blend our culture into the American society. That's basically what we're trying to do.
Viva Mexico! Viva Mexico!
We are very happy to see that the community is responding, is coming back to celebrate the 212th anniversary of the Mexican Independence Day.
Even though it was celebrated on the 16th, we're doing it on a Sunday because we wanted all of our constituents to actually take the afternoon off on a Sunday and actually have a big, big celebration, which is very symbolic for us.
We want them to continue on the traditions and know the culture and the food, the music. Even this little guy, he's here too to do all that.
Kind of remember them where we came from and listen to the music, the food, just get a feel for our heritage, you know. It's awesome that they celebrate it here.
Yeah, I'm coming with my family because I'm celebration together.
Well, we kind of did a little bit of everything. I was just here for the food.
Tacos and the birria, agua fresca.
Celebrate my parents' parents' culture. It's important to them and to me too.
Of course, they bring their culture, but they also bring a diversity to the cities and employment, and they offer our community is very business oriented. Wherever they come, they will create jobs.
We came to work and, you know, we got educated here. We went through all the schools, but we found the American dream and we're living it.
We love you. We want to continue to see you grow, and we're just so proud that you're Philadelphians and part of our city. God bless you all. Thank you.
I've always had this art inside of me that had to get out. We're in Hamburg, Pennsylvania at Bill's Whimsical Welding, and we're right at 3rd and Grand Street. Everybody's welcome in the yard, walk around. I've had a couple people say, this is my happy place. I come down here, and that's nice to hear. Metal sculptures and gardening come together. My metal would mean nothing if it wasn't next to these beautiful bushes and flowers and everything that Mother Nature has come up with. I like to see movement. I like to see water. A garden club wanted a green fly. So I built that green fly for them, and they told me it's too big. It's a garden club. Why would you want a green fly anyway? But they wanted one. So I said, well, okay, I'll keep it. I don't force anybody to buy anything because everything I build I kind of like. My friend Dar Ray helped me a lot with the placement of different objects, color coordination. It isn't just art, it's finding a happy spot in life, and the enjoyment of having a love in your life that gives you a freedom to do art. All of a sudden, there's nothing else on your mind. It makes me more creative. It's like getting a battery shoved in your can, you know, and you're ready to rock and roll. It's a wash tub. I don't know, I just started, I see one piece of it, and as I work on it, it comes together. I just have all this art locked up inside of me, okay, and I got to get it out. And that's why I take care of myself. I want to live as long as I possibly can to build as much as I possibly can. Art doesn't have to be perfect. It's just something you do. It's your expression. It's how you feel about life. It's something special. It's like when you go to dance. You know, the dance you do is your dance. You know, you're having a good time with it. You're happy. So when I build one of these things, hell, I'm happy. I like doing it. And when I'm done with it, I like it. If you don't like it, tough.
Puerto Rican parade. It is the Puerto Rico Parade and Festival from the city of Camden, New Jersey. We honor San Juan Bautista, St. John the Baptist, who is the patron saint of Puerto Rico. So it's similar to St. Patty's Day with the Irish community. This is the Puerto Rican Festival.
The food.
Right here, we're posted up right here. You come get your shish kebab.
The people smiling and enjoying themselves today. You know, we have had like 2 years of roughness, so now is the day that we come out all together and join together.
Yeah, the pride is right there, no matter what.
It is a celebration of our culture, our heritage, the music, the food. You can probably smell it from here. You know, typical Puerto Rican food, a festival celebrating our culture, but we celebrate our culture with everyone. We invite the whole community to come out to the Wiggins Waterfront Park at Camden, New Jersey.
Great place for tourism. It's a great place for families. And what better place to be than Lancaster, PA?
The spirit of Santa is everywhere here now in this hotel.
We're at the Santa Gathering event, an event we've been holding for almost 11 years now.
Santa Gathering is a way for new and old Santas to come together. Our mission is to give training to our Santas and our Mrs. Clauses and our elves to help them go out in the community and be the best they can be.
I'm Santa Claus.
You are going to see a lot of Santas and Mrs. Clauses and some elves.
And so the children don't get confused. We tell them that the real Santa is here. You just have to find out who that is.
We're a huge network of Santas.
So we suggest you go around and you ask and you talk to each one of us until you find the real Santa.
We are Santa Claus.
Today we have some training classes. We like to teach our Santas skills that they may not have in their skill set.
You have to be prepared.
We do sign language, children with disabilities, visiting sick and dying children. There's a lot of skills out there. Santa doesn't just laugh and ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
COVID, we had to postpone 2020, but we bounced back strong. Every time the world changes or life changes, we adjust to it, and we come back each year with new plans.
We have a vendor room for Santas and Mrs. Clauses to buy all kinds of things that they need for their trade. Boots, suits, magic tricks, everything that Santa and Mrs. Claus need to do what they do out in public.
Mrs. Claus is as important as all women are. Strong, strong woman. She has to be if she takes care of all those elves and she makes sure that Santa's got everything he needs before he leaves. I mean, she's gotta be.
Being Santa is the opportunity to share hope, love, and joy, and pass on the Christmas spirit with everyone we meet.
We are at the Logan Inn in New Hope, Pennsylvania. It is the 5th oldest continually run inn in the country. The building just celebrated its 300th anniversary. The spirit of Emily is the most talked about, and the reason for that is because she lived here. The things that still remain that belong to Emily is the bed that people sleep in and the portrait on the wall. She passed away in this bed. Elderly woman, not a tragic death. In the lobby, which sits behind the front desk, it's actually a portrait of Emily's parents. It's room 6. It is called Emily's room. It's the ones who seek the most, see the least. Unusual things will happen. A woman will leave her hairbrush on the back of the sink, and it'll get moved to the back of the toilet seat. Their shoes will be shifted around. A lot of guests will point out that the temperature changes. We've also had people, sense just the feeling that someone is in the room with them. People take many photos. I will get pictures of photos that they've taken. It will look like there's a person next to them or in the room. There's also the story of the little girl. Her parents, they were traveling through, had decided they needed to stay. She was around 8 years old, and one day she was out over by the canal, which is behind the building, and fell in. And unfortunately, she drowned in the canal. Her spirit is also still with us. Many guests have said that they've seen a little girl, they feel they sense it, they've seen her in the mirror. So the belief is it is the little girl that drowned in the canal. It's another part of the history, and it's such an incredible building. The spirit is something that, it's a protection thing. It's inviting. It's not meant to fend people off. It's to welcome them in.
The Discover Sea Shipwreck Museum is located over Seashell City on the 2nd floor in Febrock Island, Delaware. It is a free museum to the public. This year we have about 16 different shipwrecks represented in the museum, and we also have 2 colonial sites and a Native American site that's local to this area also. Just about 10% of the stuff I've recovered over the years on display. Each artifact in the museum has a story to tell. That's been kind of my full-time job. Go out and find these things, conserve them, and then hopefully preserve them for future generations to teach a little bit about our maritime heritage. Many people, when we think of shipwrecks, we always think of the Caribbean, and we tend to forget that one of the largest ports of call in the early Americas was Philadelphia. And the only way to reach Philadelphia at a time when our waterways were highways were up the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays. Some of the artifacts that I've recovered from the wreck of the Faithful Stewart. In the early parts of 1785, the Faithful Stewart had left Ireland, bound for Philadelphia with 249 Irish immigrants. So only 68 lived to see the light of the next day. They also had cargoes of different supplies like shoe buckles and other things, but its biggest cargo that it was carrying at the time, besides the passengers, were 400 large barrels and 100 smaller kegs of coinage. Even though the timbers and stuff are there, they're buried under tons of sand. And what causes these coins to wash ashore is during northeast storms, as that sand gets churned away from the wreck, pieces of those barrels break off and the coins wash into the beach. People up there with their metal detectors looking. My best day ever, I found over 100 coins in one day, just walking along the beach, and they were washing up on the shoreline. Coin Beach is located just a couple of miles to our north, right on Coastal Highway, the same road that brings you to the Discover Sea Museum. A lot of the families do come in, get excited, and then they'll go make a trip out to Coin Beach and see if they, and some of them find them, some of them don't. It's just, you got to be at the right place at the right time. Learn about the local history, and then the nice part about it is, if you want a family adventure, you can go out with the family and try your luck at finding something that's washed up on the shoreline.
The
This is a culture, you know, people don't believe it, have never been here before. They just don't understand until they come here. The energy is just the vibe. It's Eagles, it's Philadelphia, it's Phillies, Flyers, Sixers. This is a family up here, and we've been coming here for over 25 years.
This is a P-Lot. P-Lot bleeds green.
It's an easy access in and out. We never have a bad experience. The crowd is phenomenal, and we really enjoy it.
Oh, it's electric. You come down here, all of our friends are from like New York, Norristown, Wilmington. We can all just meet up here, cook some food, and watch the Eagles.
We've been doing it since 2003 in this lot.
Today we're having chili, pork tenderloins, burgers, chicken cheese steaks.
It's called a junkyard dog, bacon, sausage, hash brown, eggs, cheese.
Love the Eagles. Like cooking for our friends, having a good time. It's a lot of effort, but everyone seems to enjoy it.
I already ate. I had a couple drinks, and I'm taking my nap.
Takes his little nap, you know, so we get up here really early, about 6:30 in the morning. He's almost 80 years old.
This is the 48th year that I've been gone, and I only missed one game in 48 years.
He loves it. He lives for it, just like the rest of us.
Pulled pork, roasted long hot, some pork roast, some kibasi. We got it going all day, every Sunday, every home game, yep.
The atmosphere is phenomenal. You see the same group of people every time we come to tailgate. We've been coming here for the last 15 years. It's an awesome experience.
He's a Steelers fan, so he wants to hang out with us. We got to take him to the bus. It's all fun and games, man.
There's no better time